When I found my daughter in that hotel hallway, she wasn't crying anymore. Her face was completely blank, eyes red, cheeks streaked, tiny bare feet pressed against the cold carpet. She was clutching the doorknob that wouldn't turn, whispering, "Mommy." Her voice was cracked and dry. "Auntie said I'm not family." For a moment, I couldn't even breathe. Everything went still, the world shrank until all I could see was her trembling lip and hear the silence behind that locked door. Then came the laughter, my sister's laugh, my parents' voices joining in. It hit me like shards of glass. 3 hours. She'd been sitting there for 3 whole hours while they drank wine, played cards, and watched TV. I knocked once, steady. My sister opened the door, a glass in hand, her face already annoyed. "What?" she snapped. I looked past her. My parents sat comfortably on the couch, not moving an inch. "You left my daughter outside," I said quietly. My father shrugged. My mother sighed. She was noisy. "Your sister needed rest. You always overreact." Something inside me shifted right then, not broken, not shattered, just realigned. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just said, "Okay." Then I picked up my daughter and walked away. That night, while she slept beside me in the spare room, I stared at the ceiling replaying it all, their cruelty, their indifference, their easy habit of taking her side. It wasn't new. My sister had always been the golden one. When she made a scene, it was called passion. When I defended myself, it was called attitude. I'd spent years forgiving small humiliations, thinking that keeping the peace meant being strong. But that night, watching my little girls sleep, I realized peace with people like them is just another word for permission. So, I stopped giving it. The next morning, I acted like nothing happened. Smiles. Breakfast. Small talk. My sister even get and said, "She'll forget by tomorrow." She didn't realize I never would. That same day, while they lounged by the pool, I sat inside with my laptop. Calm. Focused. Making calls. My sister's husband ran his own design firm, but the contracts, they were technically in my name. Years ago, when she begged for my help to get them started, I agreed to be their silent guarantor. She needed my credit, my contacts, my stability. She forgot all that. I didn't. The same went for my parents' mortgage. When Dad's business collapsed, I'd co-signed to save their home. They liked to call it family helping family. So, I helped again. 3 days later, I made one simple transfer, funds that were mine, legally, contractually. Just a quiet shift back into my account. It was enough to set everything off. Payments bounced. Credit lines froze. The design firm got flagged for an audit. By that evening, my sister was pacing the hotel lobby, panicked, whispering into her phone while my parents stood behind her looking confused. I sat in the cafe across the hall, sipping my coffee, watching. When she finally spotted me, she rushed over. "Did you do something?" "The bank says." I looked up and met her eyes for the first time since that hallway. "I just moved what's mine," I said. "You can't do that," she hissed. "I can," I said quietly. And I did. Her voice rose, shaky and furious. "You're ruining my life." I tilted my head. "You ruined your own when you decided my daughter didn't belong in the family." She froze, all the color drained from her face. My parents came up behind her, my mother's tone sharp and brittle. "You can't punish all of us for a misunderstanding." I let out a short laugh. "Misunderstanding? You locked a child out of a room. Your grandchild." My father tried to sound stern. "You're being vindictive." I smiled, calm and cold. "No. I'm being fair. By the time we flew home, their perfect little world had already started to fall apart. The bank wanted full repayment on their loan. The mortgage had defaulted. My sister's husband discovered she'd been using money from my accounts to cover their expenses. She screamed at me, called me every name she could think of. Then she cried. Then she begged. But once you understand what leverage really is, you don't hand it back. I gave them choices: sell the firm, pay the penalties, or sign over partial ownership to me and walk away clean. They signed, of course. A week later, I went to see my parents. My mother couldn't look at me. My father looked smaller, tired. "Why?" he finally asked. "We're your family." I stood in their doorway, the same way I had outside that hotel room, and said, "Family protects each other. You showed me what happens when they don't." Months later, I'm home again. My daughter laughs easily now. She's mostly forgotten at night. Sometimes she asks why we don't visit Grandma and Auntie anymore. I tell her, because some doors aren't meant to be knocked on twice. I don't regret any of it. They thought I was weak because I stayed silent. But silence isn't surrender. It's strategy.